So we are back, and there are some updates and things going on I just wanted to let you know about. We are a little behind with the interviews I'd recorded because if you follow me on Instagram, you'll know I broke my arm and had to have surgery the week of Thanksgiving. But I have a new Instagram page. It's Today in Holocaust History, which focuses on history each day of the year to show that the Holocaust was not just a one-time event. It's something that was a rollout consistently for a very long time. I also have some exciting interviews coming up, so please be sure to subscribe, and that way you'll be able to find out when the new interviews come out. And if you don't follow me on Instagram, please do. And if you do, please comment. Please send me messages. I love to hear from people. And if you think that you'd be a good guest, please reach out as well. I'm always looking for interesting people to talk to. This is Nicole Kelly, and this is She Brew in the City, and this is my first episode of what I think we're going to be calling Season 3 because we're starting right after Rosh Hashanah. So Shana Tova to everybody listening, though I think this episode's going to technically be coming out over Yom Kippur, so I hope you also had an easy fast if you were fasting. Today I am sitting down with Courtney Cohen, and we're going to be talking about being moms and owning businesses and hopefully some other fun stuff as well. How are you doing this morning, Courtney?
I am good, Shana Tova. Hope you had a good New Year. Yeah, my daughters are this morning. They were like, "Oh, Rosh Hashanah's over now." Like, yeah, technically.
Yes, it is technically
next week's
over.
Even more fun.
Yes.
But yeah, we're having it's been a good start to the new year so far here.
Good. We had a big group of people over after the first night, which was really fun. My daughter was kind of holding court and got to see some of her friends, so she was very excited, so that was great. After a long day at synagogue. So I usually like to start off by talking about people's backgrounds, just so everyone kind of has an idea of where they're coming from if we talk about their Jewish journey a little bit. So can you tell me where you're originally from and what your Jewish background is like, how you grew up, if you were religious, if you had a bat mitzvah, all that good fun stuff that I love?
Yeah. No, so I am from Florida, but not an area of Florida that there's like a large Jewish population. So it's called Newport Richey, which is about I think it's like 45 minutes north of Tampa on the west coast of Florida. Grew up in Pasco County, which you might have heard of. It makes news for other reasons.
Other reasons?
Yeah, not if people like to say, if you've seen the show Cops, you've probably seen Newport Richey. But so there, I belong to synagogue. My parents still live there, and they still belong. It's the JCC of West Pasco. It's called Congregation Beth Tefillah. And I was religious growing up in terms of we went to temple a lot. We went on Fridays. We went to Sunday school. It wasn't, my husband is from the northern suburbs of Chicago, so he is a very different Jewish upbringing than I had in Florida. He went to religious school multiple times a week, did camps and things like that. And that, there is this whole Jewish summer camp culture. And that wasn't a thing where I grew up. It wasn't until I was older and even out of college and really realized that was an experience that a lot of Jewish kids have. And I don't know if it's just because I was from Florida or what, I'm not sure.
It is definitely a geographical thing because I'm from LA and there was a JCC camp, which unfortunately burned down in one of those fun fires in California. Oh, yeah. So I went one summer to sleepaway camp, but I really did non-religious day camp. And since moving to New York, everyone's like, oh yeah, you go away for the whole summer. And that's not a thing in certain places. It's a very East Coast and sometimes Midwest thing. I know there's a famous one in Michigan.
We went to day camp.
Yeah.
Or sports camp or something to childcare essentially,
yes.
Before we were old enough to stay home. And I think I did one thing and I can't remember exactly what it was. It was with Young Judea. And I think it was a weekend or 3 days or maybe a week. I don't I remember going to something, but it definitely wasn't an all summer thing. And then, so my dad, he always kept kosher growing up and his family did. And my mom's did not. And then, so he's always kept kosher my whole life. My mom's not. So we kind of have that mix growing up. I keep kosher now, but that was just like a choice I made. Like as in like an adult, it wasn't super. We didn't stress that. Like growing up, it was some of us kept kosher and some of us didn't. It wasn't like a big thing. But I did all the things. You know, we celebrate the holidays. I was brought matzah to school on Passover. And I was told I always had to answer what I was eating. And I grew up. Our temple was more conservative. And now where we belong, Chicago, is more reform, which has been an interesting experience.
Yeah. In what way?
I love it. It's. I mean, going to temple, you know, and even when I go like for services, I did Zoom for my temple back home and got to see some of the same people. You know, someone on the bima was my like Hebrew school teacher, so it's fun to still like see them, but it's definitely a different vibe at a reform, which I like. It was. But the first time we went, it was definitely an interesting experience because it wasn't something I was used to, but we like it.
That's
and now
good.
the girls, so I have 3 kids, 2 girls and a boy, and the youngest, he is almost 9 months, so he doesn't go to Sunday school yet, but the girls,
Yes.
they just started a few weeks ago, and they're loving it. Although my 4-year-old, she just has like the time of her life. They like make challah. And they like dance. And I'm like, oh, okay.
It's very just fun. We have had, we joined a Reform synagogue after my daughter was born, which is very different than the experience I had because I went to like a very non-fun conservative experience where we went twice a week and sometimes on Sundays. And it was like, you know, the little kid stuff was very limited. Granted, this was the 90s and I think things have changed. But like from the time she was little, there's like lots of programming with the kids. Granted, we call it like a mega synagogue. There's like 2,500 families.
Okay.
So,
ours is, I think, I mean, there's a lot in Chicago, but it definitely is a large one. Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah. I think they just have
Sunday school. I was like, oh my God. I texted my husband. I was like, there's so many kids here.
Yeah, it's definitely a different experience than I had growing up. So I get the whole like it's fun thing. Since she was like 3 months old, we've been going and doing all that
and I'm glad that they like. I remember like sometimes going to temple, you know, like thinking back, like, oh, I didn't really want to go, and I'm sure they'll get to that point where, you know, maybe they don't want to go. But I'm glad right now that they are enjoying it and having like fun. Yeah, so it's working out so far. So,
did you have a bat mitzvah?
Oh, yes.
We kind of like jumped
Sorry,
ahead.
no, I forgot. No, you did ask that. I did have a bat mitzvah.
Okay.
Myself and all of my siblings, I'm one of 4. We all had bat mitzvahs. Mine was a sock hop theme.
Stop. Mine was 50s theme too.
Yeah, I'm not really sure why.
My theme was 50s as well. We literally wore socks, but that was something that everybody did, regardless of the theme. But it was like 50s themed, and each of the tables was like a 50s song, and I don't know.
Yeah,
something
people wore
similar.
Like skirts, and I was like, and I still have, you know, like the shirt that you make. But thinking back, I have no idea why I picked that theme. I think we had milkshakes, so maybe it was like that. But I was like, I have no idea. Like my brother's was sports themes, like the different teams. And I'm like, okay, that makes sense, but I don't remember like why that was it. But it was fun. I mean, you know, you still have the pictures and stuff, so it was.
Yes, I definitely look back whenever I go home. My mom has like all the pictures. I love doing that.
Yeah, I remember like practicing for my Haftorah. Like it was when we still had like the CD players, the headphones that plugged in, and I would bring it over the summer to like the summer place I went to, and I would like when it was like resting time, I would like listen to my.
I might be older than you because I definitely got a cassette tape.
It was, you know, they sent it to you on a CD, or the rabbi made it. Someone gave it to me on a CD. You know, and I was like listening to it like during the middle of the summer. But
oh no, I got a cassette. Like I was saying, I got a cassette tape because I might be a little bit older than you. So it was a fun cassette tape experience, and I got like a little book. So we grew up in Florida. Did you go to college in Florida?
No, I went to college in Ohio. I went to Ohio University in Athens. And then from Athens, I moved to Chicago in 2012.
Okay.
And I've been here ever since. I moved to Evanston. I lived there for like 6-ish months. And then I moved to Chicago, like the city. And that's where I've been since.
That's where you've been. Awesome. And that's where you met your husband and started your family.
Yeah. So we met where we both worked. And then, so all the kids, they're all born here. So that's part of, like, Shayna Punims is the duh is part of, like, an ode to Chicago, I guess. So it's, like, duh bears.
Yes.
And so I took that because it's important, because it's like where I started the company and where the kids are born. And I started it before my son was born, and my dad would always call us Shayna Punims growing up. And so I called them that. And then, so the Chicago, I sort of like tied that into like the business, like as well, because it's sort of like part of our story. But yeah, we've been here, met here, got married here, all that jazz.
You are full Chicago now.
Yeah, we are here. And, there were times where like, oh, maybe we should move. And like at one point I thought maybe move back to Florida, but not currently
with what's happening.
I'll just
There's
say
a
what
lot happening in Florida. Yeah.
Like.
Florida's a very divisive place.
Right now.
Yes. So talk to me a little bit about your professional background prior to starting Shayna Punims.
Sure. So I was in PR and communications for, I think it was about 8 years. And then started in 2012. And around 2015, I was like, I should just go back to law school. So
good,
I did that
easy thing to do. Just,
Yeah, just because, I always loved school. I always loved going to school. I always loved, reading. I still love to read, all of that. And then in 2021, sometime around there, I worked at an immigration nonprofit called Children's Legal Center, which is like a legal nonprofit to help on certain types of immigration cases. And then I worked there for 2 years, a year and a half, and then now I currently work still as an attorney at the State's Attorney's Office in the Child Protection Division.
Okay.
So it's a little different than what I do to Shayna Punims, but
look, careers transition. I've made like 3, so I totally get it.
Yeah, and so I still do Shayna Punims, part-time. The hope is that, one day I'll be able to do it full-time, but it is a lot, working, doing that, and then raising children. Yes. So it's just, even at night, I'll go and I'm like, okay, I need to do some stuff, and I'm just too tired.
Yeah.
Fall asleep,
I
and I'm
understand.
like, I had all these things I need to do, and they didn't get done, and you just kind of I'm trying to be better, like cutting myself some slack. It'd be like, sometimes there's just not enough time, so.
No, I totally get it. I feel like I see these content creators and I was like, I have all these ideas. And my sister's like, a lot of these people do not run businesses and have children. So they just create content all day and that's what they do. And it's fine and easy.
I know. I see the people who make the memes that are like, someone tell the content creator, like the 24-year-old content creators, like it's not the same 24 hours.
No, it's not.
So,
I am just
hard. I know I do a lot of like content stuff like on the train to work, because it's like 30 minutes that I can sit and like do that. So a lot of times that's what I do, or I'll like edit pictures on the train and like just kind of do it when you can. But
you have to find the time where you can get it. I get it. I totally get it. I'm like in the same boat as you.
Like, kids want to help, which is great, but also I'm like, it doesn't help when you're like slapping the keyboard and I'm trying to use the keyboard. So, but that's all right.
I know. The whole thing, I want to help, is my daughter's thing, is she wants to help, and now she wants her own computer, which I don't know what she'd do with it.
Oh, I know. And like they'll model for me, which is great. Mm-hmm. They'll help. They love to like weed the vinyl that comes out of the Cricut. They love to do that. But sometimes it is, you're just like, I just need you not to put your hands
not to put your hands up. Yeah, no, I get it. How, so you have the baby, and then how old are the girls?
What was that? Sorry?
You have the baby, and how old are the girls?
6, 4, and then about 9 months. So they're very in the like, I want to help.
Yes, I have a 4-year-old.
Or just be attached to you at all times.
Yeah, no, I love it, and I try to remind myself that that's not always going to be the case. And some days she's already starting to close her door, which we do not close doors, but she's like been closing her door to play, and I'm like, we don't do that. So at some point, that door will close for like a decade, and I won't be able to get it back open. I've gotten a few of those with
6-year-old. Or my 4-year-old the other day, she told me, she's like, I'm very mad at you right now. Or I'm not. No, she said, I'm not happy with you. I was like,
you're like, great. I
so
don't know what to do with that.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, my daughter says these things. Her new thing is she tries to get us to do things quickly. She says, chop, chop. I don't know where she got this from.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes they say things, and I'm like, do I even want to know?
Yeah.
How old is your daughter?
She's 4. She turned 4 back in May.
Okay. So yeah,
Prime sassiness. But
Oh yeah, they're like teenagers.
yes.
Everyone's like, oh yeah, the 2 years are so bad. I'm like, have you met 3 and 4-year-olds? Like,
No, she was very, very sweet when she was 2 years old.
yeah.
And she's gotten much sassier. So we're working at a nonprofit. What kind of sparked the idea to create this company, and what was the catalyst behind this? Because it's always like a big jump from idea to creation. So what started the idea, and what was that big jump?
Yeah, I think, and I hear this, I feel like, from a lot of Jewish business owners, is just that the lack of stuff for Jewish people.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say, like going into, Target or whatever store, big box store in the holidays, or any store really, and just really not seeing enough like stuff, or seeing like matzah at every holiday.
Yes.
Like aisle or end cap. Although at Jewel the other day, the end cap, there was no matzah. And I was, I don't know if that was an accident or what, but I was like, there's no matzah on this end cap. And there was potato pancakes, but I'll give them a pass because potato pancakes are always delicious.
Yes.
But I think it was that, and then just wanting to create more like fun things that wasn't, because I feel like a lot of like, there's some like Judaica stuff, but it's more of like, I don't know if fancy is the right word, but
traditional, maybe. I get what you're saying.
Like there's like menorahs and mezuzahs, and I mean there are wonderful, amazing creators making like ceramic menorahs. Oh, there's one that I'm obsessed with, and I forget. I have to look. She's on TikTok, and I forget the name of her page at the moment. But she's got an Etsy shop, and she makes these like ceramic menorahs and mezuzahs, and they're gorgeous and stuff like that. But so I wanted to create more like everyday things, I guess.
Yeah.
Like
something you can just throw on and you're not, I get it.
Yeah, like t-shirts and hats, and also stuff that's just, I feel like half the stuff is just stuff that like I would want to wear.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, this is fun. I would like this. And so I'm just like, okay, like let's do it. And I don't remember I was like, okay, I should just do it. But I think I started with like a sticker. And so I started small. And so I think it was just like, okay, let's make this. And that was like the first product, the I Heart Kugel sticker, because I was like, I do love Kugel, and I should turn this into something. And then it just kind of like went off from there. So I think it was just wanting to create more like fun things, because I feel like Jewish people, we should just get more fun things.
Yes,
and we don't
I think there's
always get them. And so I wanted to help join the like businesses and creators that are helping make more fun things for like Jewish people, especially right now when
a lot of things are not fun.
It's a rough place. It's a hard time. It really.
I mean, the history of Jews, not so fun. Not so fun.
Yeah.
I recently unplugging this because I was doing a lot of a day in Jewish history on my regular Instagram. My husband kept saying, just do a day in the Holocaust, Nicole, because that's most of what it is. So please follow my new page. You can find it on my Instagram bio, which I'm highlighting things that happened every day during the Holocaust, because that's my background. Not always fun. So I appreciate the fun Jewish things.
Yeah. And I think too, my Nana, and my grandpa technically, before they passed away and like before they retired, they had a few companies, but one of them was called Judaic Giraffe. So I think I combined, honestly, she had essentially the same sort of thing. They printed t-shirts and made magnets. So kind of like the same. So I feel like it's sort of like a second generation of her company. And what is that name? The giraffes in Judaica? Where did that come from? I don't remember. I'm sure she's told me. I don't remember what the story behind like the naming was. I don't remember. It's a fun name.
I love fun. I'm obsessed with naming companies. I'm very good at it.
I'm sure my mom would remember. It also just could have been something that like maybe she liked giraffe. Like it could have been something just as simple as that, but
my sister and my daughter's favorite animal are giraffes, so that's why I ask. They love giraffes. So you start with the sticker, and what was kind of, like I said, the catalyst from going from like, this is something I want to do, to like, I'm full on going to make this a company, because there's a lot of steps into creating a real life adult company. So what made you decide to go from like, I'm just doing this to company?
I think sort of like jumped in. I made this sticker. I think I started with an Etsy shop.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think I got a website. And honestly, I probably, like, I see sometimes like either articles or videos or, content about like starting a business and like the things you're supposed to do. And like supposed to have like a business plan and all of these things. And I did not do that. I did not do that at all. I just kind of like jumped in and was like, I want to create these products and I'm going to learn to do it as I go. I'm like, okay, I'm going to register to be like, I forget what like an S Corp or whatever I'm registered
Yeah.
as.
We're an S Corp. The tour company's
whatever it
an
is. I'm
S-corp,
like, I'm just going to do this as I go. And so it was more of like, I focused more on the like creating products and that and just kind of like did the business. I probably maybe shouldn't have done it that way. I should have maybe have like come up with more of like a plan, but it is more of like learning as I go sort of thing.
I think that's true of any business.
Like, if I'm doing it, I might as well do it. And I'm trying to do more now, like more markets and things like that and learning how that stuff works. But yeah, I kind of just went it, just did it.
Well, clearly you're doing something right if it's still operating. It is a lot of, like I was saying, it's a lot of learning on the job. And I think
or being like, I should have done that. Let me go do that now.
Yeah. A lot of things that we have are retroactive because we're like, that happened. So maybe we should prevent that from happening in the future.
Make a note so it doesn't happen again. Yeah.
Exactly. So you said you really like the design process and want to do that. Walk me through the design process of your products.
So it definitely depends. I feel like with a lot of products, I get the product in my head and I like know in my head what I want it to look like, but then it's making it look like I want it to look like. So for any product, I mean, because I work with a lot of like, I guess more like graphics and like fonts and stuff like that. So like for our like Bagel Daddy hat, we wanted to do one that was more giving like Barbie type of style font and then more like modern. And so I just go and I like in my head I can see it, but it takes and so then it's sort of like creating what I'm like the vision, I guess. And so then I just like sit down really and I either draw it. Like sometimes I'll draw, like I have an idea. Like I want to do something for Hanukkah. I really want to try and do some stuff, shirts like embroidered around like the collar. Because those and they look really cool or like just in different places. But so playing around, so I was like drawing it out. And now I'm going to have to sort of find like all the fonts. And I'll tell you, like, I will go through like sometimes like 50, just font after font after font and style until I'm like, okay, that is what I'm looking for. And so it's kind of like creating the products like in my head and then just doing just sort of like trial and error until it looks like I want it to look like, basically. Which
gotcha.
Yeah. So, but it's fun. I mean, and I enjoy it because then once I find, I'm like, okay, that's like, that's what I want it to look like. And then I do all of when I first started, I didn't have the capability to do like my own bags. I worked with a print shop here in Chicago who did our like totes Coach bag. And then my neighbor actually randomly has a screen printing shop. And so he was helping me with my hats for a while because he had like a very large embroidery machine. But now like I have that. So now I do like everything in-house, I guess. And I was doing all the designing, but it wasn't like I have a smaller embroidery machine. So I could do like shirts and stuff, but hats are just like a pain on that machine. And it was just like you could do it and people do it. It was just way too much a headache for me. But so now that I've sort of like grown a little bit, I do everything like in-house, which is nice because then I can take like scrap fabric and like test out the designs and see like even like the sizing, like how long it is, especially with hats, like there's some standards I feel like with design sizing, but it's not, I feel like it doesn't always look, the standard doesn't necessarily mean like that's what it's going to look like. So I do a lot of like trial and error, especially like embroidering or printing until I get it. So I don't want to put something out there if it's not what I feel it should be. And so, but it is nice. I can sort of do it all now internally. So
I think doing everything in-house is much easier. It's more cost effective, and you can control the aspects of that. I feel like I've talked to, because I own a business, but we don't make a physical product. So I feel like there's so many more steps. And if you're in control of all of the steps, it's so much easier. And I'm such a control freak that if I owned a business where I made things, I could not run a business out of this New York apartment. But I feel like I'd be like, I want to control every aspect of this. It's something I'm working on, is relinquishing control of things.
Yeah. Well, it's
doing my best.
You can just I can just do it when I want to get them done.
Yeah, you're able to control the timing.
People, you know, and it's great. It's obviously so helpful to have. It was very helpful to have a neighbor across the street who could help me as I was starting. But there would be some times where I wanted to be like, "Are my hats done?"
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. When you're working on someone else's timeline, it can be kind of difficult and frustrating. So that makes sense. How big is this embroidery machine?
It is, it's downstairs, but it is it's pretty wide. It's one of those, I think it's like a 10 needle. So if you see the big, not the ones that take up the whole table. Okay. It's on wheels, it can move. So it's not massive, big, but it probably is this wide, and it's pretty, is it as tall as me? I'm probably taller than it. But it is pretty, it's a 10 needle. So it's a pretty massive in terms of the jump from my table one that's sitting right here.
Gotcha.
But it's nice because it lets me do and it obviously moves faster than my table one. I mean, I still use this one because there are some things, I did some hats recently, and they wanted stuff on the back of the hat, which I hadn't done. And I tested on the bottom one, and it was driving me nuts. It wasn't working. It wasn't lining up. I was losing my mind. And so then I just came up here. So it's nice to still have this one, which I got on Facebook Marketplace when I started. And I was it wasn't I don't need to go buy this brand new machine. I don't even know. I don't know if I might hate it. I don't know if it's going to work. But so that I have that. So it's nice to have both. But I still use this one. But.
So if you could, equipment, out the window, if you could create any product, if you had magical equipment to do whatever in your house, what would be kind of your dream product for your company?
Yeah, I was thinking about this. This was really hard when I was thinking about it. I would love to do dishware, I guess. And I can do coffee mugs. I make coffee mugs. I have one right here that I just sitting right here. And I print those, but I would love to do actual designed dishware. In my head it would be a collab with a Kate Spade vibe. That is fun. I had an idea for what am I losing my track of thought? Oh, an espresso cups, a set of 4 with fun little bagel related things on it, or a stack of brunch plates or something. And so I would love to have the capability to design, because I'm sure there are machines that I could get to make them here, but I don't think it would be the same as printing on the plate versus actually creating it with that. And I don't know what that looks like. So I feel if I could do that, I would love, that's bit in my head. That was one of the first things I've thought of, but hasn't been created at this point.
Not quite there yet, but something maybe down the line. Yeah. I have Kate Spade dishes, so I definitely would be on board with cute Kate Spade inspired.
Yeah, I feel that's the vibe, some polka dots with some fun Yiddish on it is we have our Kate Spade Seder plate. And we love it, and the girls love it. And so I would love to do that is the vibe in my head, the fun patterns and colors with some fun little Yiddish and stuff thrown in.
Well, when you get to that point, let me know, because I have so much stuff in my kitchen, and I feel I love kitchen stuff, but I don't cook.
Same. I'm not allowed to buy anymore, but I still do.
I'm not allowed to buy a lot of things, but that doesn't stop me. Yeah. I just keep doing it. So I hear ya.
I know. We have so much stuff. And then now the point, things just get broken all the time here. But I'm kind of just
It
We
is what
have
it
enough.
is. I know. So
We've got a ton of coffee mugs. So if one's, it's kind of like, because we have so much stuff I'm not allowed to buy anymore.
like, what is it with having all these mugs and things you never need? I feel like I have this stuff that like I hold on to and I'm just like, I've never used this, but I'm attached enough that I don't want to get rid of it.
Yeah, I can't get a. I should get rid of them or like donate them or recycle them. And I feel like I only get rid of mugs when they're broken. Even though I don't use most of them. But I'm like, oh, I need that one that I got, that Jake got me on that work trip to like Arizona 10 years ago. No, I don't.
Just in case.
I really don't need it. But yeah, like we just have so much. Or if we get, when you inherit things from like other family members, whether they've like just given them to you or they've like passed away. But even if I don't use them, they're just sitting in the drawer.
Yep. I totally get it. So I want to switch gears a little bit to talk about some of the challenges that, Jews in general are facing and as a business owner, because it's an interesting time, to be a business owner and to be Jewish, and to combine those things, I think is very challenging. So what are some of the things that you find challenging right now or in general about owning a Jewish business, and also to make it happy, some of the rewards of owning a Jewish business right now?
I think some of the challenges are just like general, like probably, I'm sure you probably experienced, but just like general like business owner stuff. Like I feel like a lot of my challenge right now is getting my name out there and like creating I mean, it is. I mean, people say, like you could have a business, but like creating your content is like another job as part of like the business, because that's how people, not everybody, but a lot of people, and I feel like a lot of like my target audiences are like on TikTok, they're on Instagram, they're looking like for content. So it's like creating that content and like catching the eyes of people. I will say, I feel like especially like on TikTok, I've seen that there is like a large, it's like a little bit different than Instagram, like a Jewish community that like people are like up in people's comments, like commenting and, things like that. There's also some negative comments. I don't know how much of those. I mean, I get a few occasionally, and I just try and be like, okay, well, thanks for the engagement, like, but I mean, some of them you can tell are probably bots.
Yes, that's always fun. My husband's saying, don't argue with the bots, and because I usually just ignore, but sometimes I get in a mood and I'm like, no, I'm gonna do this.
Yeah. I posted some, and it's weird. They like comment. I don't know what it is. I mean, I don't really know how like the bots, work and all that, but it's like, I think they don't even comment. I feel like, no, I think I got one on one of like my like Lashana Tova videos, but I posted something about like soup, like a hack for matzo ball soup. And I got a comment, and someone who had left me like a positive comment, like commenting back, was like, why are you being weird? This is a video about soup. And so I feel like some of these comments I'm getting, it is literally, I was talking about how I use baby carrots in matzo ball soup because it's just an easy hack and I don't have to sit and cut up carrots. And I got this like, I don't remember if it was Free Palestine or something similar, but I was like, this is like...
It's unrelated. And I know. I posted my daughter walking uphill when it was snowing, and someone decided to bring in the Middle East, and I was like, this is not related. So I don't know, like I said, I don't know, like you were saying, I don't know if it's a bot or it's just insane people who have nothing to do.
Some of them you can tell are bots, but some of them, like, are you like a real person? And but I think, I mean, I think that too, but I think part of my challenge is too, because I am first and foremost a Jewish company, but I also wanted to create products that sort of were for everybody. I mean, like,
everyone loves bagels,
like bagel specific.
Yes,
like Jewish people love bagels. I mean, that's like a thing, but also like lots of people love bagels. And so I wanted to create things that sort of like celebrated like my like Jewish experience, which I know is like different than, like other people's, and what things that I love and things that I like associate with it, and sort of like get like my experience, but then like make it for everybody. And I think that's probably part of some. It's like some people, and I'm not saying people have done this because I've never like talked to someone done this, but I think there's probably like for all Jewish business owners, even if they don't create like, even if they have stuff that's not like Jewish specific, I'm sure there are people that are probably like, well, they're Jewish, so bye. So again, I've never like spoken to someone who've like had that conversation with that, but I imagine that probably is going on out there for like Jewish business owners that they're like, okay, well, you're Jewish. I don't really care what you have to say, what you have. But I think it's just, but there are wonderful communities and there are a lot of people like supporting. It's just sort of like finding them, but which is another job in itself.
Yes, yes. It's like this marketing is, especially on social media. I feel like 10 years ago, things were very different.
Yeah.
It's just a different world. And it is, I mean, I have a cousin who does this full time for a company. It's a full time job.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And I have a list of things that I want to do. And it's just, you know, I think I'm decent at editing videos, but it takes time. If you're going to do I do a lot of things with like pictures, and then if you have to do a voiceover, and then you have to check all the subtitles and everything, and it takes like an hour to create 30 seconds because it is a full-time job.
Oh yeah, I agree.
And sometimes I have, like you were saying, like I just want to like talk, but you have to do it like 10 times because you feel like you make a mistake with a word. It's a whole thing.
I've tried to be, you know, I see a lot of like videos, especially from like the content people experts that are like, just post your video. So I'm trying to be a little bit more of like,
not picky. I'm
just going to post. And because I think part two, it's also like figuring out like the algorithm and like getting people on your video to find you. So it's just kind of like, I'm trying to be better of like, we're just going to post stuff.
I don't understand because right now I have a TikTok. I'm going to pull this up so I can be correct with how many views. I have a TikTok video I made about the Jewish American Girl doll, Rebecca, and it has 16,000 views on TikTok. Mm-hmm. And then I have videos that have 20 views. So I'm like, it makes sense. And I know there's all these videos that are like, this is how you get views. And I'm like, okay.
No, yeah. I'm convinced that like, there's a few that I'm like, oh, okay. That I like that a lot of like those people are like, will give like video ideas, which are nice.
Yeah.
But it's also weird too, because you could post the same thing on Instagram and get like 5 likes. And I'm like,
yeah, they're completely different things because
I haven't figured it out.
Yeah, they're different monsters, and it's my background is not in marketing, and I don't understand. And I'm just like, well, I think this is funny, so obviously
that's literally what I do. I'm like, okay, this sounds good to me. I would watch it. Great.
I know
someone else will appreciate it.
I hope so, but you know, I feel like, you know, if 5 people actually enjoy and it ends up with a legitimate follow, maybe that's better than having 1,600, 16,000 views and not really getting any new followers. So I try to think of it that way.
No, for sure. I mean, you want the people like to come back and they like to find you to like find your people. So no, I agree.
Yes. So we talked a little bit about the little ones wanting to help, quote unquote, with the small business. But other than them wanting to like physically help, and we talked a little about time management. What are some of the challenges that you find, and also, like I said earlier, rewards of being a business owner while having young children?
I think aside from, like wanting to help are always like, one thing, my stickers always get taken. Just like look, tactically, like there's, I should have taken a picture. On my daughter's wall, they share a room, and they took a handful of my stickers and made like a person out of them.
Oh.
So they like ripped some, it's a whole thing. So half my stickers disappear, and I'm like,
occupational hazard.
I mean, like I make them, so I mean, obviously I now can't sell them, but like it's not like, you know, a big deal. Then I think part of it is like my biggest sort of challenge right now is giving time to everyone. And so, because obviously too, like when you have like the full-time job and you have that, and so then you come home or like on the weekend, you're like, okay, I really need to like get these orders out or whatever it is. But I was like, okay, I haven't seen my children who I do love, who I do want to see.
Visiting a city maybe for the second time and don't want to visit the same tourist traps? Check out Top Dog Tours. We have lots of different options for walking tours of neighborhoods and attractions that everybody will love. We are in Boston, Philadelphia, Toronto, and New York City. You can visit us at topdogtours.com and check us out on social media for offers and discounts. All right, so it looks like we're back. So I don't know what happened. So I think we left off with you talked about the stickers and them making sticker person.
So I think the biggest thing with, you know, being a business owner and, you know, being a mom is really just trying to essentially like do it all, as they say. and like wanting to work on the business and grow that, but also be around the humans that I made.
Yeah, I get it.
And so a lot of times it is like if they're in activity, I'm bringing my computer and doing, you know, when they're at gymnastics, using that hour to like, you know, do stuff. So that's just kind of just getting it done when I can, basically.
If you had like a dream for the company, what would that be? Would it be like this being your full-time gig and it being like a huge Judaica company, or would you like to keep it small, or like what would be your dream for the company if if like a genie appeared and was like, we can do whatever you want?
Yeah, I mean, I would love to be able to ship and like do things like in other countries, like Israel, but also, you know, other countries. And I would love, I mean, I can see some benefits in like keeping it small. I would like to grow. I'd love to be able to do it full time, and then travel to different markets and things like that. I'm doing in March of next year. There's this big like Jewish Joy Con that's happening. And
where is that happening?
It's Fort Lauderdale.
Okay, I'm not going to Fort Lauderdale, but that sounds fun.
Yeah, and so that's the first like one that I've really traveled for, and it's like the first, you know, one. Jean Meltzer, the author, is like spearheading it with some of her other like author friends, I think. But I would love to be able to, you know, I do get some like messages sometimes like, oh, we'd love to have you at this market and stuff like that, and it's just not really feasible right now. But I would love to get to a point where I can like do the things and go different places and you know, bring Shayna Punims on the road. Yeah.
But you need to be able to
continue to
focus.
grow.
Yeah. It's hard when you have like other things going on and you want to completely focus on this. I get it. And it's hard at what point do you like make the jump and you're like, this is the full-time thing. So I totally get that. Like we were just talking about joy. So you talk about joy a lot on your social media, and obviously we just talked about a Jewish Joy Con. So what does Jewish joy mean to you?
You know, a little bit ago, my daughter, so my two daughters are Chaya and Zoe. My son's Brian. And I wrote this down because I didn't want to forget it. She just was like, we were eating dinner and she just like randomly started drawing a Seder plate. Just randomly. And my daughter, then we were talking about Passover. My daughter, so she loves gel rings, but she calls them Passover donuts. And so I think it's just seeing them and these different things about like Judaism, whether that's like the culture or like Jewish holidays, and like how like seeing it through them, and that makes me happy. I had so much fun at Sunday school. That makes me happy. I make challah every week, and that's part. And I love watching videos and like finding new ways to braid it and things like that. So I think it's just like all the like little things that really is just like our life, and that's like the Jewish part of it. Like I love reading Jewish authors. Which I feel, you know, there's a lot of like romantic comedy books. There's not a lot of, at least that I know of, a lot of like Jewish authors writing Jewish like rom-com stories. So I love seeing that. I love reading rom-com books and them talking about like going to Shabbat dinner or like services or whatever. And it's not, but I love it too because it's not the main focus. It's just like these characters and they are Jewish and this is just their life versus like making it everything be about that. And so it's just those different things. They just, you know, make me happy. And yeah.
You mentioned challah. So you make challah every week?
Yeah. So pretty much every week. I mean, we cheat. So I use a bread maker.
Okay.
Unless for some reason we don't have time for it, because it's nice too, because the bread maker will also like warm it so it rises, and it's just a lot easier to like pour stuff in there and let it do it versus like doing it by hand or watching the mixer and stopping the mixer and do all that. So yeah, we do it every week. And it's just like part of our, even if we don't have like a fancy, and we don't really have like elaborate Shabbat dinners, there's just like not time to do that. You know, it's pretty basic, but we always have challah, and they girls know it's like a Friday night thing. Before my bubby passed away, we would when we'd call her, but especially on Friday nights, they always knew like we'd always had Shabbat Shalom on Friday nights. So it's just sort of like and like they'll say like, oh, is it challah night? And so it's just part of like our routine.
I commend you on that. I cannot make challah. I've been to challah workshops. It's just not my jam. My daughter's school will send, you can pay to have challah sent home, and that's what we do because I cannot bake. But maybe with a mixer, it might be easier. I don't know.
Well, I'm telling you, the bread maker is
life changing.
I think it's one of those jokes that like, you know, people get it for like their weddings and stuff, and they don't use them. Like my bubby always had a joke that she would get a bread maker, or like, and then she would like, someone would give it to her and she would like give it, and like she would keep getting it back. And we didn't even get one for our wedding, but we made it every Friday, that it was just like, and we try and use it other times. But it is, you just throw it in there, it does the dough, and then you braid it, and it's great. I mean, I know there's a lot of people who do it by hand, and it's like that is part of their Friday, and that's part of their routine and their ritual, which is like more power to them. But it is great, because especially too, like if you have like pickups and stuff, you can put it in, you can let it do its thing, and then it comes back, and so it's nice.
I feel like my mom had a bread maker that she never used, so I get the whole not using a bread maker. So you talked a little bit about reading the Jewish rom-coms, but some of your products talk specifically about Hallmark movies. I know
love Hallmark movies.
So you're a fan of Hallmark movies. They've recently started making Hanukkah movies. I want to know what your thoughts and feelings are on the Hallmark Hanukkah movies, because I have very specific feelings.
So part of it is like, I'm very glad that you tried.
Yes.
Like I appreciate the effort. I mean, I watch them all. Jake, he makes fun of me, and like, it is what it is. But I think, you know, there's the one last year, I think it was like Rebecca's Biggest Gift or whatever that one was called. And that one was weird to me, because it was like this Jewish person celebrating Christmas and like wanting to celebrate Christmas. And I get it, like growing up, especially when you don't grow up in like a big Jewish area, it really all you see is Christmas. And so we didn't really decorate. We didn't have the lights everywhere. So I can see that. I can see whereas like Christmas might seem to be this like magical time, and Hanukkah, while magical in its own right, doesn't get the like fanfare. And so some of them are, I mean, I loved Hanukkah on Rye. That's my favorite so far. I thought that was a good one. But I think overall, just Hanukkah, like Hallmark movies in general, just like, you know, they just trying to accept them for what they are. And it's nice that they are giving some airtime to some Hanukkah stories.
No, I agree. I just think
they're not perfect, but
they're not perfect. No, because I think a lot of it is like they get people who celebrate different holidays, and they essentially are teaching each other about the holidays, and that's kind of what it is.
Yeah.
Where, you know, I have not seen Hanukkah on Rye. I'll have to check that out.
I can appreciate that they use like Jewish actors,
yes,
and actresses, and I feel like a lot of times, you know, in a lot of like Jewish stories that are told on like movies and TVs, they don't always have, and so I can appreciate that I think they've all made, right? Yeah, I think they pretty much all, like the main people have been Jewish or celebrate, you know, Hanukkah. So I can appreciate that they do that, because not, you know,
that is definitely not the norm, and something I think that is, you know, I'm a former actor, and I think a lot of, you know, conversations have been had and continue to be happening about these, you know, well, because technically anybody can be Jewish, you know, there's not like, it's not like you look always a certain way, but like, do we need somebody from Argentina playing Fanny Bryce? Right. Which is definitely what happened on the first national tour of Funny Girl. There was like a huge problem that people had with that.
Right.
So this last part, I kind of call it my actor studio section, because these are just quick questions that don't require long answers. So the first one is, what is your favorite Yiddish word?
There's a lot. I was like going back and forth. I was like, so I think it's schwitz.
Okay.
Only because, well, I have a lot of like fishing stuff, but I just feel like it's a fun word. I mean, I like them all. You know what's funny? So I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's maybe I just like think too hard, but the word kavel, I feel like when I say it, I like feel like I'm always saying it weird. And then I'm thinking about saying it weird, and then I like record, like, because Kveller, the online publication, is great I love him. And sometimes they'll put one of my products in there and I was like, I can make a video, but then I go to say the word and I'm like, am I saying this right? Like what it is? I mean, I love the word, but I'm like, I've been saying these words my whole life, but I'm like, now that I think about it, I'm like, this is weird. Like, am I saying this correctly? I love that word also.
You could have more than one favorite. I
Yeah,
am
my
a and not or person.
yeah, I was just thinking about like things like my bubby and Zadie, like my nan and grandpa used to say, they would say like my bubby said chazarai a lot. She said that a lot. But yeah, I think Schwitz is probably my favorite one.
What is your favorite Jewish holiday?
Oh, probably Hanukkah. Which I know it's funny because it's obviously in terms of like importance to the Jewish religion, it's not up there compared, obviously like Rosh Hashanah and like Yom Kippur. Those are much more like quote unquote like important holidays. But I think it's the fun. I mean, there's a lot of fun ones actually. We have a lot of fun holidays. Purim is great. And that I just feel like I don't know if it's just like the time of year it is. Everything's pretty. We're all like cozy, and it's just like.
I also like
maybe because it's in like the holiday time.
Yeah,
that's probably it. Yeah.
So, if you were to have a bat mitzvah today, what would the theme of the party be?
So it would probably be like sports or books. I'm a big sports fan, or books, or honestly, it would probably be like like a fundraiser for like a Planned Parenthood or like a pro show. It would be some sort of like
that is valid and amazing.
Yeah, it would be like some sort of like fundraiser for like a cause that was important to me.
I love that's not an answer I've ever gotten. What profession other than your own would you want to attempt?
Probably like book editing or publishing. I feel like I'd be good at that. I read as much as I can now, but I mean like growing up, like I have certain thoughts about Harry Potter now that things have come out about like the author, but growing up when Harry Potter would come out would be like this big deal, and I'd be the kid that like sat up and like read it all night and like totally done. So I mean, and I still love to read. But so I would love to be able to be like paid to read.
I would love to be paid to read.
That sounds like a dream.
Instead, now because I am in grad school, I pay to read. So it's a different thing. So if heaven is real and God is there to welcome you, what would you like to hear them say?
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna get upset. So I think I would want to hear them say that there are people waiting for you. Meaning the people that I miss. Oh my God, I'm gonna cry. I don't know if this happened to you, but like I think I was always like an emotional person, but like now that I have kids, even if it's not kid related, I just cry all the time.
For me, it was a little different when I first went to acting school is when the floodgates were opened and I just cry over everything. I cry over like McDonald's commercials sometimes. But yes, like certain things that like the kid thing, I totally get. Like it changes your like emotional availability about things a lot.
Yeah. I just feel like, any certain things like, watching those videos, like the sad dog or like the thing, like the people, like they share that clip of like the end of Homeward Bound when like Shadow runs up and like I can't watch, which I feel like a lot of people like can't watch that without crying. But I mean, even like the homecoming videos of like the armed force family, like I just cry like every single thing. I cry at work sometimes. Everything makes me cry. Yeah, I feel like I would want that because then I would, my loved ones who are no longer here, get to see them again. So.
All right. So thank you so much for joining me today, Courtney. And if anyone was interested in checking out your products, where would they go to look at them?
Yeah. So we have an Etsy shop, and also we have a website. It's just shaynapunims.com. We also have, you can find us on Instagram and TikTok. We also have a Facebook, but that's not really as active. I mean, it's active in the sense of like what I post on Instagram goes to Facebook, but I feel like Facebook isn't where a lot of people are like actively doing things compared to maybe how active they are in other places. But all of the handles are to Shayna Punims. So we're really easy to find. But yeah, if you check us out, give us a follow. We do have a newsletter. It was my goal to be better at the newsletter this year. I have not met that goal.
Well, you got a new year, so you get to to refocus on that goal.
Oh my God, I forgot. Yes, it's funny. I saw something the other day that was like, the Jewish people have it right. The new year should absolutely be in fall. Fall feels like a new beginning. They're like, what did it say? It was like, why? It was like, what's with January?
Yeah, January is a sad time. I'm pro.
I mean, I get that it's the first month, but it was, I'm like, that's a good point. Yeah, like fall, it feels like people are back to school. It does feel like a new time. But I think Jewish people are right about lots of things. So.
Yeah, I agree with you. So this is Nicole Kelly, and this has been She Brew in the City.